Here today with Mr. Gary Tester. He's the Executive Director of Catholic Charities of Central Florida. Welcome, Mr. Tester, to Daytona Beach Television. We're talking a little bit about the homeless situation today in Daytona. You've been part of this process for quite a while, and I just want to thank you for your partnership and your leadership in this effort. But to get to some of the things I wanted to share with you today, Catholic Charities was very instrumental in helping First Step Shelter Incorporated develop the current plan that we do have right now. And how do you envision this first in Volusia County of a 24/7 come-as-you-are shelter in our area?
As you may know, Dr. Durham, Catholic Charities of Central Florida is involved in a multitude of ways in addressing issues of homelessness. We have traditional financial assistance programs that work to assist folks who are in danger of becoming homeless, evictions and things like that. We do all that we can through our case management programs to try and help stabilize those situations and keep people housed. In the last 2 years, we've also begun a more significant investment in the actual services to those who are homeless. Here, for example, in Orange County, Catholic Charities of Central Florida is the largest provider of rapid rehousing services under our Housing First model in Orange County. I was just with United Way of Brevard County this morning, and we started a contract there with the county in January, and we've already housed 2 homeless folks. And so we've been doing that service now, and we feel very strongly about that. We also run one of 8 assisted living facilities in the entire United States for individuals who are homeless and who have had a medically acute situation requiring hospitalization and requiring step down. The reason I point all those out is we're very comfortable in working with individuals who are homeless, individuals who are in danger of being homeless. And we've tried to apply that knowledge and drawing upon the knowledge of our state and national networks to bring the best that we can to this process.
Well, certainly you have a vast array of experience and talent. So what would you say would be the unique qualities of Catholic Charities of Central Florida when it comes specifically to the Volusia County First Step Shelter?
Well, First of all, we're well versed in running a 24/7, 365 operation. We currently run a facility that has 60 beds. That is our assisted living facility, but they're all homeless individuals. We have 40 beds for those individuals who are requiring the assisted living side of the house, and then we have 20 what we would call transitional living beds. Men and women, 10 for men, 10 for women, where we're working to help them get into permanent housing. And so we're the transitional housing, we provide that case management. I think just our growth in this area alone and our commitment to the Housing First model bodes well for the ability to first get folks off the street and get them safe and secure, provide that intensive level of service that helps them to begin to move in the right direction, and as quickly as the system can support, getting them into housing.
Now you're operating an assisted living facility here, and that's a little bit different from a homeless shelter, but kind of talk about how Catholic Charities of Central Florida will be able to manage the homeless, exclusively homeless shelter versus an assisted living center.
Absolutely. One of the great things we're blessed with is we're part of a national and state network. So when we began to have these conversations with Volusia County now, I think almost a year ago, we began to look at our partner agencies in Florida, and specifically in this case the Diocese of St. Petersburg, and also then looking at other Catholic charities in Florida as well as nationally to get understanding of their best practices models. And what we have found, we also visited with a group from Daytona, we visited the Chapman Center down in Miami. And we see a great number of similarities between what we envision and what goes on there. I think realistically speaking, and something that folks may not know about me individually, I was chair of the board of the largest family homeless shelter in the state of Ohio. And so I have experience both from a volunteer standpoint as well as from an employed standpoint in working with homeless populations. I don't consider myself an expert. I'm just someone who's dramatically convicted about the need to serve those who need help. And that's where we come into play here. We do have staff who are very well versed in 24/7, 365 operations, and we have a network that we can draw from to help us with that.
Well, Catholic Charities has a history of helping those in need, regardless of background or religious affiliations. Would First Step Shelter be operated in the same way?
Absolutely. It's a question we get all the time for all of our services. And the beautiful part, the way I explain it, we do what we do because we're Catholic. Who we serve is any brother or sister in need, and we do the best that we can to bring all the resource we have available to that situation.
And let's talk about resources, because
Sure.
with any venture like this, fundraising is going to be a major component.
course.
And I know that Catholic Charities had at one point talked about perhaps raising up as much as 50% of that budget annually for this First Step Shelter project. Talk about the fundraising effort a little bit.
Sure. As you might imagine, operating as a nonprofit, we're not blessed with all the cash we need to run all of our operations right up front. And so our endeavors in development are consistent. We work with individual donors, we work with corporations and foundations to support all of our ministries. And we've worked diligently to help people understand our story and our mission. Our commitment to First Step is to work with the First Step Board to secure the funding that needs to carry us and beyond that first 5 years of service, where we've worked on a different model that kind of secures that funding to get it up and running successfully. But our goal is to work with the First Step Board to tell the story everywhere we can and to develop the success that we believe will be there so that people can know that this is a sound investment from a charitable standpoint.
Well, Catholic Charities' mission in helping people, which is really stellar, who are struggling addressing a lot of complex issues.
Yes.
How does Catholic Charities of Central Florida, how will you use the nationwide network that you have to provide assistance for the Volusia First Step Shelter, Inc.?
It's a great question, and allow me to say that this is my first opportunity to be involved with Catholic Charities. I've got a long background in child and family services, but not with Catholic Charities. And so one of the things I've come to appreciate, if you take the entire United States and you look at housing for low-income folks, the largest private nonprofit provider of housing in the entire United States is Catholic Charities and all the affiliates across the country. Here in Central Florida, we currently manage 3 housing complexes, 2 for seniors, 1 for low-income families. And so we have a lot of experience, as I mentioned before, with the assisted living facility and with the housing facilities. We've got a lot of experience that we have. And then we have the benefit of going to our affiliates here in the state of Florida through Catholic Charities of Florida and the Florida Catholic Conference, as well as the national network. So if we run into a situation where we need technical expertise, it's literally a phone call away. And we've got folks here in Florida who have said, look, if there's anything we can help with, call. We'll come over and we'll take a look and we'll try and help make that work. So we're very blessed to be a part of an experience-rich, human resource-rich environment where we have a lot of folks who are willing to assist us. And we've got some great partners in Volusia County who have come to the table and dedicated themselves to this process as well.
Well, Mr. Tester, I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to talk to you today. I know your time is valuable. You've been running quite a bit with Holy Week last week,
Yes.
and a lot that you've been going
It's our
through.
pleasure.
But
Truly
we're
our
happy.
pleasure.
We're happy that you're on board with First Step Shelter,
Thank
and we're looking forward to the partnership continuing for many years to come.
As we are, Dr. Durham.
I want to thank you for listening to this edition of Daytona Beach Television. I have been your host, the Reverend Dr. L. Ronald Durham, Community Relations Manager for the City of Daytona Beach. This is an exciting event in our county, in our city, and we're looking forward to great things happening. Bye-bye.